Well, I think the president being fit is an issue. Yeah, for sure.
What about being
He
an
needs to be.
insurrectionist?
I don't believe he's an insurrectionist.
Oh, what did I just lay out then that either doesn't qualify for insurrection or isn't true from what I just said? Or if you want, you can admit that you have no idea what I'm talking about and you need to go back to the drawing board before even beginning to have an opinion on this topic.
If you can
This is
hear
going to
us,
be how
okay.
every single conservative
Reactions
debate
are
should go. If you
that
debate a
heart with the
conservative,
plus in the
this is
bottom
how
right hand
every
corner.
single one should go
Okay.
until the
If not,
election.
that's okay.
This is going to be a walkthrough Friday,
Um,
okay?
so I just wanted to create this space because there was obviously a huge event happening yesterday, and as maybe some people saw, there's a lot of arguing going on about Trump and who he is and all that stuff. So um, I just wanted to chat with Destiny, hopefully respectfully, and just hear his thoughts about why he says the things that he does about Trump, and maybe share some of my own thoughts. Maybe he'll dance circles around me, maybe not, because he's a very skilled debater. I'm not a live streamer. He does this for a living. This is just a hobby of mine. So thanks, Destiny, for coming on and chatting. And yeah, where did you want to start?
Yeah, I guess firstly, wait, so what is your current political affiliation? Or like,
Well,
who do you like support or whatever? Like,
I'm in Canada. I'm actually in Canada. I don't know if you know that about me. I'm in Canada and I'm conservative.
in Canada and you're a conservative. Okay, so I
Yeah.
can assume that you support Donald Trump or whatever?
Yeah, I think he did a good job when he was president. I don't think he, he's the monster that people make him out to be, or like the criminal that people make him out to be. I think, as brash as he is, and some of the things that he says in a bombastic Trump way, I don't think he's as bad as the media tries really, really hard to portray him.
Okay. Do you acknowledge that
Yeah.
he led an insurrection against the U.S. government and he tried to steal power?
I don't I don't think he did that. I don't see evidence of him saying he incited an insurrection. I think I watched him call for peace on video. I saw the tweet that he put out saying we want peace, we're the party of law and order. Like I don't think that you can ascribe insurrection to those words.
Are you aware that Donald Trump organized 7 different sets of people to fake an elector vote in 7 different states in the United States with the goal of sending those elector votes to Congress and then begging and then pressuring Mike Pence, first with words and then with violence that he directed on the 6th, in order for him to unilaterally toss the election by either selecting those electorate votes, the fake ones that he submitted, or by having the House choose Donald Trump to be the president against the will of the American people? Are you aware of any of that?
I haven't seen him using any kind of threats of violence against Mike
Excuse
Pence.
me.
So could
I'm
you?
sorry. Excuse me. I didn't say anything about a threat of violence. I don't know who you're talking to or what you're responding to. I just asked you very specifically for the thing that I just laid out. Are you aware of any of that? Do you know any of that?
I believe you said something about violence.
Okay. Let me restate. Okay.
Okay.
Donald
All right.
Trump organized 7 different sets of people, okay, in 7 different states to send in fake votes, okay, to Congress essentially, in order to pressure Mike Pence, okay. First it was
Okay. Pressure
words.
Mike Pence. Okay.
Well, first
Pressure.
it was with
Okay.
words. He begged him to do it behind the scenes multiple times, and Pence said no because he's not a traitor to the country. And then the second time is he called his crowd of people that he gathered on the 6th and then sent them to the Capitol grounds to protest with the goal of getting Pence to choose the fake electorate votes that he sent in to Congress. Are you aware of any of that?
What is the evidence for that, though? I
It's laid
haven't
out in the
heard.
indictments, and nobody denies any of it. If you want, you can go to
Okay.
YouTube, and if you want, I'll wait 5 minutes right now for you. You can go on YouTube, and you could go false electorates try to enter Capitol, and there are videos that will pop up. The first one says Republicans try to deliver their own electoral votes to Michigan Capitol. There are people that are being charged in multiple states right now for perjuring themselves, saying that they were the duly elected, appointed representatives of their state to cast their electorate vote. Nobody denies this. Nobody denies
Okay.
this. Okay? So you're not
Okay.
aware of
All
any of
right.
this.
I haven't heard of that story. No.
That's another way of saying you're not aware of any of this. So, okay, so step 1, okay, let's assume that what I just said is true because nobody's denying it. And Trump's defense against this is to ask for criminal immunity. You're aware of that, right? That Donald Trump's way of defending himself was to go before the Supreme Court and say, I need to be immune from criminal prosecution. Are you aware of that?
Well, I wasn't following it that closely, so no.
Okay, well, are you aware that Donald Trump, his attorney went before the Supreme Court and was granted criminal immunity for the first time in all of U.S. history for an ex-president, that now the office of the presidency enjoys absolute criminal immunity and presumptive criminal immunity for basically every action a president can take. Are you aware of that?
No, I'm not aware of that.
Okay. How many videos have you seen of Joe Biden stumbling down some stairs or having slurs or forgetting words in his speech?
Well, they are floating around. I've seen some of those.
Yep. Do you understand that? Do you understand that this is a problem? That you have absolutely no idea what's going on in my country, what's going on in my. Let me finish, please, and then you can go. You talk as long as you want.
Sure.
You don't know what's happened in my country. You don't know what's happened with my government. You don't know any of the things that Donald Trump has been involved in. But I bet if I go through your Twitter, I can find 50 million videos of Joe Biden with his stupid open mouth or slurring some word. Do you think that's an issue?
Well, I think the president being fit is an issue. Yeah, for sure.
What about being
He
an
needs to be.
insurrectionist?
I don't believe he's an insurrectionist.
Oh, what did I just lay out then that either doesn't qualify for insurrection or isn't true from what I just said? Or if you want, you can admit that you have no idea what I'm talking about and you need to go back to the drawing board before even beginning to have an opinion on this topic.
Well, I can have an opinion because free speech exists, so I can say what I want to say.
First of all,
you
no. Number one, no. You're a Canadian. You have no guarantee of free speech. Number two, that's obviously not what I meant. You obviously are entitled to an opinion. I'm saying that it was a shorthand for to have a well-formed opinion that merits consideration. Right? If you're not even aware of any of the major events happening in this country, I don't know how you can have a strong opinion on whether or not Donald Trump is an insurrectionist or not.
Well, I see what the media says about the current events, and I see the media pushing and saying things like, to serve his country, President Biden should drone strike Donald Trump. And to me, that seems like not very appropriate thing to say for as an advice for the current sitting president. And that doesn't seem like a strong uphold of democracy or decency, as they would say, because they said decency was on the ballot.
If Rachel Maddow told you that walking on sidewalks was dangerous, would you walk in the street?
No.
Then why are you citing me something that the media said and then giving me your 4-year? Do you have children? Do you react to everything like a child? If the media says something you don't like it, do you just take the opposite position without giving a single original thought yourself into what you're actually being told? Or is your entire ideology defined by reactionism?
No, I'm not ideologically possessed. I agree with certain things that sometimes the liberals say, and I can disagree with certain things that conservatives do.
Okay.
It's not.
That's
It's
fine.
not like. Yeah, it's not like I watch state Canadian media and take the opposite stance of everything they say, because twice a day a broken clock is right. So
Cool.
it's not an
Okay.
issue
So
for
then
me.
I think we can, going back to the insurrection thing, if every part of what I laid out was true, if Donald Trump slated false electors in states, had that sent to Congress, and knowingly gathered a crowd of 50,000 whatever people, and then sent them to the Capitol building in the hopes that they would protest to pressure the fake electors being chosen, do you think any of that qualifies as an insurrection?
Would I have to be an expert in insurrection law to state that one way or another?
But you don't have to be you don't have to be an expert in insurrection law to say confidently that it wasn't.
Well, perhaps you're right about that, but like I said, I refer to his actual words that he put out on social media and on video, saying that he's requesting for peace.
You understand
And
that came after he was begged for hours while he and his crony, corrupt Giuliani made phone calls to sitting congressmen inside of the lockdown building, right? That he was calling them, pressuring them to delay the certification of the vote. It was hours after that he finally went on Twitter when the insurrection had failed and said, okay, guys, we need to go home.
well, like I said, I wasn't following it 24/7.
Then why do you have an
maybe
opinion
like,
on it? You weren't following 24/7. You were following it 0-0. You have no idea what happened on any of this. Why do you think you should have an opinion on any of this?
Well, I told you I can have an opinion if I want.
You can, but
And
but then people should make fun of you and bully the f out of you for it, right? You've literally no idea about any of this. It wasn't that what our original tweet was over? Is that I think I called you didn't I call you a hack? It seems like I was correct, right? You have absolutely no idea about literally any of these issues.
Yes, okay. Maybe I haven't followed the case as closely as you have.
Hold
but
on, not closely. You don't even have any idea. You have no concept. You don't know anything about what I'm talking. You don't even know what an electoral vote is, do you?
Of course I do. Of course I do. It's It's what the United States has for their electoral process. We have a similar process here in Canada. It's not majority vote. It's not democracy. It's a constitutional republic.
Okay, if you know what an electoral vote is, do you think it's acceptable for people to try to fake them, like Donald Trump did in 7 different states?
Well, like I said, what is the evidence that he faked those? What is your evidence for that?
What would you want to see? What if I could show you hypothetically 7 different certifications filled out with false electors? I can send you a YouTube video of these people literally gathering outside in Michigan in the courthouse. Hold on, here's a YouTube video for that. I can go on Obsidian and I can find you the if anybody has a quick link to the like they have photographs of all of the of all the fake things that they filled out, pretending that they were the.
They also have photographs and video of people, stuffing ballots and bringing out bags and security footage from places where people are voting, and they were putting up tarps over the windows. And
Are you
they
aware?
were
Are you aware that every single one of those was investigated, and that every single one of those was heard before a court? And that every single one of these, except for one, was shot down, a lot of them by conservative judges that Trump himself, or at least his administration, appointed?
well, like I said, I wasn't following this case 24/7, so no, I wasn't following the procedures that came out of that.
Okay, but you've seen pictures of it, right? Are you embarrassed or ashamed that you've had like strong opinions about this because of pictures that you've seen, because of like Elon Musk feeding you lies on Twitter?
Dustin, you don't have to be that rude. I'm being really respectful.
Hold on,
I'm
no, no,
not
no, no,
sure
wait,
why
wait.
you're
Hold on. I need you to understand something so much, okay? You're not being respectful. You're actually evil, okay? This idea that you can
I
walk
don't believe
around
I'm
and as
evil.
long as, that's great, I don't care. The idea that you can walk around and as long as you say the worst type of shit imaginable in a nice enough voice, that you should be treated with respect is absurd, right? In no other function in life would anybody ever be treated that way. You have no concept of anything related to the insurrection. You have no concept of what's even happened aside from what you've seen, I guess, on Twitter and the media. But you're out here tweeting along with every other insurrectionist supporting head in my country about how Donald Trump is treated unfairly in the media and Joe Biden isn't fit to be president. Like, you have no idea what you're talking about for any of this, though.
Hey, do you think it's okay for Joe Biden voters to, make like a life-sized version of Trump and like put a fake guillotine over him, or to hold up bloody severed heads of him and things like that? Do you think that contributes to anything that's happening in the States?
Nope. I think that to the first question, I would say no, that's not acceptable. Were Democrats or protesters doing that outside of the Capitol building, except instead of a guillotine of Trump, were they talking about Mike Pence? And were they doing that because the president of the United States said that they needed to pressure Mike Pence, and that when Mike Pence wasn't accepting the pressure, he tweeted out that Pence has failed us? Did that happen? Do you remember any of that? Or is that another thing that's conveniently mind wiped from your
I
brain?
saw that tweet. So I saw that. You don't have to insult me. Like, there's no need for that. I saw that tweet, and I saw some people calling for Mike Pence for whatever they were calling for him.
To be clear,
I
hold on,
don't
just to be
think
clear, they
that.
were calling for his assassination because he wasn't willing to finish the insurrection, to finish the coup that Donald Trump and Eastman had set up for him. Just
Okay,
to be clear,
well,
yeah.
I don't believe that a few crazies represent the majority.
They do.
So,
But they do.
no,
Why would you say that? The
I don't
president
think
called them
so.
there in a speech. He gave them exactly the words that they needed. He said that Mike Pence is the one who needs to toss basically the election for us. He's the only one that we can rely on. He told them that we need to make sure that our electorate slates are counted. And then he sent them to the Capitol building to pressure I guess the people there to do whatever it is that they were supposed to do, which was to steal the election.
But did he tell them to call for his assassination? Did he incite them to do that? Is that what you're
Did he
saying? Like,
incite them? Yes, he
he
laid
didn't
out
say
every
those
single.
words.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, ma'am. So he needs to say the exact words. You need to go assassinate someone for him to be culpable. In that case, you would agree then that there is not a single Democrat in leadership that you would hold responsible for any amount of violence, right? Unless, are you going to show me? Are you going to show me some kind of tweet or video of a Democrat saying we need to kill conservatives? Have you seen a single one of those?
I've seen some crazy statements coming from Democrats
I didn't
that
ask for crazy
either.
statements. I asked, were there explicit calls for violence where they said we need to go kill conservatives?
Okay, so like I don't have a photographic memory. I believe I've seen similar things, maybe not by elected Democrats, but Democrat voters
Oh, wait,
saying
excuse me.
that they need
Democrat
to.
voters? What does that have to do with anything? I was talking about the president of the United States. And now you're going to appeal to an average everyday citizen like they have the same level of moral responsibility
Okay,
or political
but Trump
culpability?
didn't. But Trump did not call for his followers to go and do something insanely violent.
Yes, he did.
That's
He
what I'm
called for
saying.
them to go march to the Capitol grounds and to protest the certification of the vote in the United States of America to prevent the peaceful transfer of power, which is what they did for some number
A,
of
a,
hours.
a protest isn't a protest is a legal proceeding. You can protest peacefully.
Did they
Unlike
protest peacefully?
I believe they did.
Really? How did
I
the ones get
believe I
inside the
saw
building?
a guy. I watched a guy saying we need to go into the Capitol, and people were around him saying, no, we do not need to do that. There was law enforcement nearby. They were saying, this is what these crazies are saying. You need to do something. Why aren't you doing anything? I saw windows
How
being
did they get
smashed.
into the building?
Well, from video footage, it shows them just walking in as
Hold on,
security
excuse me. Do
guards
you
are.
think that the first people that got into the Capitol, do you think they just walked in?
Well, did you see them just walk in?
No, they didn't because I actually watched the videos, ma'am. Have you seen any of them? Have you seen any footage that doesn't come from Tim Pool, Elon Musk, Steven Crowder, The Daily Wire, Tucker Carlson? Have you watched any original
Yes,
reporting on
I've
this whatsoever,
yes,
or have you
I've
literally
well,
exclusively watched whatever conservative down your throat?
no.
So
Okay.
then let me ask, hold on, real
Like is
clearly,
the
wait,
just
real
one sec.
clearly,
Can I respond?
how did the first people get into the Capitol building?
Can I respond?
Sure.
Would you consider CNN original content, or like
I'm just
what do
curious
you
if you
mean by
watched any
original
non-right wing,
content?
like any actual reporting on it, not like a pundit.
Do you consider CNN in
CNN is a
places like
news
that?
network. There are pundits that are on CNN, just like Fox News is a news network, and there are pundits that are on Fox News. There's reporting, which is when people do reports. Usually there are cameras involved, and then there are pundits. So people like Tucker Carlson or Anderson Cooper would be a pundit.
Yes, yes, I understand what you mean. Okay, I was just trying to clarify. So you're telling me that there's video that exists of people violently approaching the building and breaking their way in? Is that what you're saying?
I you you're you can't honestly be seriously asking me that question. Are you not aware that it is uncontested that the first people that went into the building broke in? Are you telling me right now that you don't believe that to be the case?
Well, I'm just asking you if there's footage of it that
There
exists.
is
That's what I'm
plenty of
asking.
footage, yes. And now I'm asking you, are you under the impression that the first people that got into the Capitol building that they walked in?
From what I've seen, there was security guards standing. People were walking in, and I even recall. I hope this is accurate. I even recall some saying, "I don't agree with this," but he was just letting them walk in. So yeah, that's what I saw. And the only violence that I saw that was happening, like broken windows or the guy shouting there, standing, I think his name was Ray Epps. I think he was standing and shouting and saying, we need to go into the Capitol. And people around him were appalled at what he was saying
Nope,
and they
you're
were
not true.
shouting,
That's
no,
not
no, we
true. You're
don't.
lying and you didn't see that, okay? You saw that the night
Yes.
before. No, because I'm sorry. I watched all of these videos with Ray Epps. It's one of the favorite of you conservatards, okay, to try to blame everything on him, all right?
Well,
Which
there's
is
no need
also,
to insult. Like,
no, there is.
you don't have to insult
You
me.
needed to be bullied so much more in life, okay? Jesus Christ, okay? The
You don't,
videos
but
of
you
Ray
don't know
Epps
anything about
calling,
my life.
I know
Why do
enough
you?
about you. I know enough about you to know that your opinion is worthless and that you are one of the strongest arguments for why there should be an IQ limit to actually get onto social media and post opinions about politics.
Is that how free speech works, Destiny?
No, unfortunately, I guess not.
Appreciate that, Destiny.
All right, bye. Remember to hit that like and subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell so that my videos show up right in your feed.